H3 Yoka 1212 says grown adults stalking, lurking behind fake pages, forming groups to gossip, hiring saboteurs, and pouring thousands of dollars into baneful spell work instead of simply investing in themselves will never not be pathetic. Via X Christine, Texas is so confusing. So if weed is illegal here, why do smoke shops be selling them like if they're a dispensary? Just letting anybody walk in and buy it as if it's legal. People like me been done asking questions like that years ago, man. Everyone who has harmed you over the years is receiving heavy karma. Wolfie Eve. And you don't even be thinking about stuff like that, man. Kissed by the Sun 111. I'm not helping anyone who watched cheer for my downfall in front of my face for their own entertainment. Feral Brat says, when people have to lie to embarrass you, quotation marks, but the truth about them is way more messy and humiliating. ML Ray Wood says it's better to have an enemy who will slap you in the face than for fake family members and so-called friends who will grin in your face and at the same time they're stabbing you in the back. KC Cake underscore, it's so funny to me when someone who does not like people is naturally likable. They get so pissed off when everyone wants to be around them and be their friend. I don't know. Miss Dot Understood says, I need to stop comparing myself to people who have a genuine support systems. I feel so effing alone. I come in here trying to build connections. Trying to build a connection. Hmm. Yeah, like I mentioned before, a lot of things are. People kind of repeating the same things. Let me see. Someone said, do not listen to Jules Santana. This is exactly why his teeth fell out. Ask the numerous artists who went broke because they literally don't know how to read a business contract and in general. Jules Santana. I guess surveillance footage from an Arkansas detention center shows an inmate escaping while he was outside taking out the trash. Deputies say the man took advantage of the brief moment he was unguarded, sprinting away from the facility and disappearing from camera view. Unfollowing but not removing someone as a follower is weird. 2 more taps. Well, yeah, that makes sense why people do that. They're just trying to make things look a certain way. It's weird to follow someone, obey_your thirst. It's weird to follow someone, watch all their stories and reels, and never like a single thing. Clearly you're watching though, we can see your views. If I don't care for your content or you, I'm not following you. Simple. Yeah, facts on that. But I think it's just update things too, you know. I think it's different ways you can look at that. Instagram, man, wow. I've had Insta since like 2012, bro. It's really changed, yeah. The authenticity's gone, that's for sure. You can just pop out of nowhere and just follow some new real algorithm thing, and I guess it's the way you look at it. The Hood O Bruja. If you have someone around you who is jealous of you, get away from them fast. Yo Victoria says, y'all be like, follow me on IG, and got 10K followers but only following 23. Man, hell no. Yeah, people ain't. Damn. I am Johnny_cool says niggas get a few followers and think they're Tom Cruise or some shit. Y'all late to the game, man. Y'all talking like the way I was talking when I was like 15. Sophia.Zaveas. Not getting pregnant by a loser and having to deal with him for the rest of my life is a flex. Sorry. Let's see if anyone said anything. Damn, all the single mothers are quiet. Don't be sorry, some of us wish we had better discernment in our younger years. Dodging a lifetime of stress is a win every single time. "18 years is not the rest of your life." Yeah, this is kind of the new thing where people kind of go to flex, to cope with the mistakes and depression, and this post didn't go viral enough for me. The lack of engagement with this one speaks volumes, though. We flex on. Yeah, that one did get quite a bit, though. Let's see. It's Baya Lara. By the way, abandoning your friend who's in an abusive relationship because you need to protect your energy and establish boundaries and you can't respect their choices is exactly what the abuser relies on. We're in an empathy recession. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Callie disagrees. I disagree with this. I used to be Captain Save a Ho, but after consoling her 5 times, picking her up at 3 a.m. several times, begging her to press charges, for her to ghost me for months every time she takes him back. No, you get 3 chances. I'm not staying to be the villain in your messed up love story. Situations like this are more nuanced than a hot take on social media. And she says, no, women have gotten killed for trying to help their friends out of an abusive relationship. Cameron Love says, stop consuming alcohol and then operating a vehicle. What is wrong with y'all? Mally Nax. Sign someone isn't a good person. Number 1, they only have cognitive empathy. They can be present physically but not emotionally. Number 2, they are rude to kids. Number 3, they are conceiting, egotistical, arrogant. They pick at people. I don't really like that one. It's kind of... A hopeless kid says, just broke up with my girlfriend of 6 years and this shit definitely hits hard when you didn't see it coming. Need help. I'm in an extremely dark place now and I don't know how to deal with it. Yeah, a lot of people don't, man. Feel everything. Breaking apart, you're crying and sobbing, do it, release it, that's how you heal. I don't know. Cope, 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 cope. This is where you cope. Hold yourself accountable for whatever you did. It can be fixed. No normal woman breaks up after 6 years unless something is really wrong. So I don't know how you didn't notice she was unhappy. I broke up with my high school sweetheart in 2017. We had been on and off for 17 years. It was the hardest shit I've done as an adult. It gets better. There will come a time where you will be proud of yourself for taking courageous action to protect yourself. In the meantime, find support, talk to someone, friends, family. Yep, to each to its own if you could. Someone said you fell in love with a bot, bro. See, yep. And you get with social media, you get every side to what people think. Reading these are, because there's really nothing to talk about. Hi, Crystal. Hey, Kimberly. Mayor SOJ says, have you ever cut off contact with someone and suddenly understood that their interest wasn't in you as a person? Have you ever cut off contact with someone that their interest wasn't in you as a person? I don't know about all that. It seems like a lot of people who be claiming they be introverted and stuff really don't be, and they like want to be extroverted or something. I don't know. I've seen this page many times, primal.gentleman. Overpraising equals manipulation. Constant check-ins equals surveillance. Blind defending equals self-interest. Agreeing with all equals fear of losing. Sudden coldness equals preparing for betrayal. Playing victim equals emotional blackmail. Selective memory equals rewriting truth. Sudden kindness equals covering guilt. Constant check-ins. I mean, just don't overthink stuff, man. At this point, make it simple. What can you really say now, bro? This whole watch your back energy, man. What if everybody started thinking like this now? It kind of seems like it's turning into this. 8 tips for people in their 20s. Don't finance a car, have a roommate, have a Roth IRA, build an income outside of your 9 to 5 job, facts. Drink more water, yes. Cardio is underrated, true. Being kind to others is underrated, shouldn't have to try. And he says don't finance a car again. If you're not working, then the fuck you doing? Being unemployed because no one wants to hire, man. Ain't that funny, bro? Just say they do though. Waiting for the collapse of society. Quotes by Nave C says, do you trust people who are extremely centered around religion? Like people who think everything is a sin or demonic? Yeah, it's still too broad of a question. Dang, Quokka_nerd says, how can I trust someone who believes in an invisible sky daddy? It's so funny how people feel so open to say things when there's just an account to like no one really knows who you really are, which is fine. I guess at this point it's kind of better to do it with an anonymous account, but it's just at this point. So easy to speak your mind when people don't know it's like you. I mean, for the most part, these are. Regen Futurist says, nope, because they will use God and Scripture to justify the most heinous, horrible behavior and how they treat others. Hiding behind religious sanctimony as an excuse because somehow their behavior is justified against heathens and non-believers. Abraham says, we're basically on a video call. What do you mean? What do you mean? We're on a video call? Not really. I mean, you're kind of getting views from everybody here. If we were on a video call, it would be a little more personal, wouldn't you think? A video call, yeah, I mean, I guess. I get what you're saying. Religious front equals sketchy past. El Casino. I mean, the minute you see people right now trying to wiggle their way into the spirituality shit and the chosen one thing is when you'll have to start saying something, because that's not exactly true. When you say a pastor or someone who preaches is chosen, that's not exactly true, actually. In order to be chosen, you need to be set apart. These people are not set apart. You're not set apart. Stanley Wang says, delete TikTok, delete Instagram, remove all distractions, start learning SQL, and never look back. Hold on a sec. Programming language, yeah. Enlightened Soul says, I don't like that one. 10 facial gestures that reveal narcissism. I don't know. That one's too broad. Let me see. This guy's top rappers: Currency, Larry June, Dom Kennedy, Jay Worthy, Boldy James, Primo Rice. I actually haven't heard of him. LND and Drugs. They're pretty good. Therapy works with Yori. Did you ever notice that narcissists treat strangers better than you? Narcissist priority one: public image over private relationships. A narcissist only likes strangers because they're where their fresh start is, and that's how they prey most of the time. Yeah, they just like to use new people. They pick out people who they think they're like better looking than. They pick out people who they think they're smarter than, and it's easy to convince them of whatever story because it's a fresh new start for them. So yeah, keep going with the narc trend. It needs to keep going with it. Keep going with it. It's the most fakest shit I've ever seen from people, bro. It's the most delusional shit. They're the worst people. They shouldn't even be allowed to even have a social media if you're a narc. If you have done like child endangerment and you don't know how to take accountability and your mind is that messed up, bro, to where you're delusional and you believe all your lies, you shouldn't even. They need to come up with a new law. You can't even have social media, bro, if you over here trying to look like a parent but you don't want to be one. And especially when it comes down to yeah, you shouldn't even be on social media if you're a narc. You shouldn't even be on social media. Mom in with Michelle says, just saw a post that said you'd be surprised how many of your friends watch everything you post and make sure they don't like anything. Well, they ain't your friends. Yep, there you go. And those are not your friends. The Camille Monk Ministries. You get more love and support from random strangers than those so-called friends. Facts. Golly, man. Always remember just to be in real life. Jeez, man. Shemaya Moody says, autistic people. I hate to say it, but they are also capable of being bullies. Really. Okay, that's what's up. If you're that aware, are you even autistic though? If you're aware enough to even put that? Or are definitions being changed and stuff now? Clona Xamphetamine says the worst type of people are the ones who act like total douchebags and hide behind their diagnosis like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm autistic and don't understand socializing. I had to block someone who wouldn't stop sexually harassing me, and whenever I asked her to stop, she'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm autistic, so I didn't understand. Like, dude, being autistic doesn't immediately remove no from your vocab. Yeah, I don't know about all of that. What? My ex tried to pull that on me. I told him multiple times not to shake me because I don't like it. I fell asleep watching something and he shakes me anyways because he got bored. And when I yelled at him to stop, he said I was being mean because his autism makes it hard to understand what's appropriate. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Let me get off that one. It's not about autism or no autism, it's about empathy or no empathy. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm still on the same level. Let me get off that one. Yep. It's just the new things that they be having up on here and stuff like that. Because other than that, maybe I'm in a. This is what my feed has though. Ashwork News says, and this is a home. This ain't like anyone I follow. Narcissists don't have their own personality. They're shapeshifters who copy paste your identity, your personality, your work, your style, your whole lifestyle. Nothing about them is original. Facts. That's true. And you know that a way to know that is when they're not around you, they're just marrying the other person they're around. That's why when they're not around you, they're a completely different person. When they're around you, oh, then now all of a sudden it's time to get back on our A game, and oh, it's time to care about things and get things right, and we want to do this and missions and stuff. But the minute they're not around you, it seems like all that went out the door. Some of your therapists will never truly get you because they never lived with a narcissist. Yeah, they have the degree, the certificate, the textbook answers, but they don't feel you. They've never been in your situation, never carried your kind of suffering. That's why they're so quick to prescribe you stupid pills instead of actually understanding your trauma. Yep, true. Well, I don't know what you want to do. Maybe you should be a therapist. You're lucky you even get to afford a therapist. Consider yourself lucky. A lot of you are lucky. May have put up with something, but at least you're in a situation to get out of it quicker than those who really put up with something and can't. Ray Fivosa says, stop getting so emotionally attached and enjoy experiences with a person. Be friends, be a moment in time, be a memory. You don't have to fall madly in love with everyone who comes your way. Just enjoy their presence for your moment together. Yep. Pretty Brown in 37 says, this man made sure he kissed my forehead, sent me money for breakfast, and laid out a towel and washcloth right before heading out for work at 4 a.m. Then called to make sure I got up for work at 5:30. Yup, y'all know what I'm about to say, LOL. That's your man, honey. Go ahead and let him know. Girl, I love this for you. Mine's been consistently doing the same. He leaves for work at 2:45 every morning. Make sure he gives me kisses. Leaves texts for me. Wedding rings in 2026. That's good. Someone said, not the forehead kisses, it blinds your third eye. That's how I got on the first me. I can't take it here seriously, bro. Almost 3 years now, like the kids nowadays say, you're cooked, bro. When's the wedding? What color theme you going with? You plan on writing your own vows. Yeah, good for you, though. Kylart says, normalize understanding the 40-hour work week was designed to exhaust you so supremely you would not have the energy to rise up in the face of fastest oligarch tyranny. Kayla Leia says, two things you can't hide, money, a fit body. You can hide money, many people just choose to flaunt it, a fit body too for that matter. You can hide money in your wallet, clothes hide your fit body. You can definitely hide money, lots of rich dudes dressed like Big Lebowski. Hmm. Sim one of one. I'm finna start a music career at 32. Share Juice says being broke is a disease. There are so many ways to get money. Notice how no one's giving advice as to how to acquire said money, lol. The disease is capitalism. In a capitalist society, a large number of people being broke is a requirement. It's a symptom of the real disease. Yeah, just have rich parents and exploit the working class like it's not that hard. Zephyr Strange says being loud and wrong on the internet is also a disease. I hope you get well soon. Hey, so let's not make fun or judge people who are less fortunate. Please and thank you. Not everyone has the resources to help them make the money. You're privileged, so you have resources, but other people are not privileged. Also, being broke is not a disease. Being a horrible person is a disease, so do better. Shut up, clown. You don't know what anybody's circumstances are, man. Yep, yep. Jillian Turecki says, when you've been hurt, it's easy to believe the person who wronged you has moved on and is living happily while you're left behind, but that's not how life works. No one gets away with anything. It might look like they do, but they don't. No one escapes their own psyche. The subconscious always remembers. Fat niggas are not faithful either. Them big back niggas with the eat and cheat. Dang. That was kind of funny though. Cheat. See? He at another B house. They cheat on you and their diet. Damn. Notorious B.I.G. was a notoriously big cheater. Girl, you ain't even lying. May I never ever think ugly and fat means you're gonna be all about me. They have a lot of nerve knowing they about to go pick the stomach up and put it on your back and forehead. Dang. That's so funny, bro. It always comes out once they get done dirty. Please don't make kids hug people they don't want to. That includes family. Respect their boundaries. Ooh, Angie Thomas. J. Engine Inspire says a pattern I've noticed in literally every single wealthy person I know, they're elite communicators. Sis doing her best. If your toxic family members hate you, don't have them around your children. No, they hate your children. African Bohemian says, I only trust white people who say white people. Name an addiction that society has fully normalized. XNat says social media. Loren says severely unnecessary consumerism. Easton Alexander Music says sugar. Izzy Salman says on your phone constantly. Two Tonemo says alcohol, sugar, and being a workaholic hustle culture. Corn, I hate how it's so normalized, it's addictive, and is damaging to relationships. I mean, people are normalizing that it's damaging them. Caffeine, tobacco, alcohol, AI at this point, true. Compulsive pot use. I don't know. Sarah from Albion says nothing. Addiction is highly stigmatized, and the concept of it is so co-opted into inappropriate context to shame people. Vapes, 24/7 news, gambling, virtue signaling. That's true. That's a good one. That one didn't get enough likes. Doechi says I'm bullying niggas back next year. That one's too long. Why is everybody so ageist? It's weird. What does you mean by that? Acting like they won't be there one day. Always been weird. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Kimmy Nicole Smith says, somebody said, stop reminding me of how strong I am when I come to you for a safe space to be weak. Quotes by Nave C again says, do men also go through things women go through in friendships? Do men have frenemies, jealousy, and secret animosity? I don't know about all that. Work with Cassie says, why are we never greeted when we enter a store, but the YouTube people right after us are? I don't know if she meant even YouTube, super YT. I'm generally so tired of these retail employees and their blatant choice to discriminate based on race, who gets hospitality and who doesn't. Who gets hospitality and who doesn't? There's a bunch of ways you could look at that. Jane Denzo says Instagram should just be all views because the like view ratio is uncanny. Emotional decoding, signs your energy exposes people with bad intentions. At this point with posts like that, it's like people always gonna have a problem with any way someone is. So at this point, it's everybody's just talking. There's so many ways you could just look at that. Manipulating people around you, your self-awareness triggers or cognitive dissonance. I think that if you just even put things up like this, you're just gonna self-project that. So people act extra nice around you. Performative behavior equals insecurity. Somewhat true though. Advanced emotional decoding. Yeah. Dwayne C. King says the most honest people are the most disliked. The most honest people also don't care. Chanel says some men stay mad at everybody but the man in the mirror. Jealous, bitter, and obsessed with people they swear they don't want. They blame the next dude, the ex, the world, anybody but themselves. Instead of leveling up, they attack whoever's closest and call it loyalty. Truth is, they're stuck because they'd rather point fingers and grow up. If someone tells you something, hurt them. and your first reaction is to get defensive, you are the problem. Danny. IQ, the engineer, says not always. If someone comes verbally attacking you, human nature is for you to go into defense mode. The delivery of what is said is also important. I, America Ruby, fake people dislike you, and when you're authentic, toxic people dislike you when you stick to your boundaries. Freeloaders dislike you when you say no. Manipulators dislike you when you see through their tactics. A person is okay with being disliked. Powerful person. I just signed up for Threads and this is retarded. 313-808-3055 says, I just signed up for Instagram Threads and this shit is retarded.